اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وعلى أصحاب سيدنا محمد وعلى أنصار سيدنا محمد وعلى أزواج سيدنا محمد وعلى ذرية سيدنا محمد وسلم تسليما كثيرا. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله. الله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد. الله أكبر كبيرا والحمد لله كثيرا وسبحان الله بكرة وأصيلا. لا إله إلا الله وحده صدق وعده ونصر عبده وأعز جنده وهزم الأحزاب وحده. لا إله إلا الله ولا نعبد إلا إياه مخلصين له الدين ولو كره الكافرون. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وعلى أصحاب سيدنا محمد وعلى أنصار سيدنا محمد وعلى أزواج سيدنا محمد وعلى ذرية سيدنا محمد وسلم تسليما كثيرا. صلاة العيد جامعة صلاة العيد جامعة صلاة العيد جامعة أثابكم الله.
بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وبعد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الصلاة عيد مبارك إن شاء الله. إن شاء الله من الأسلاف دفعات يجيب deeds except the صيام and qiyam, the zakat, the du'a, everything inshallah. So I'm going to explain the prayer. It's simple inshallah. It's just 2 rak'at. The difference is after takbeer al-ihram, the first rak'at, we're going to do 7 more takbirat. And the second rak'ah, inshallah, after takbeer al-qiyam, we're going to do 5 more takbirat, inshallah. And after that, a very short khutba, inshallah. Then you enjoy the rest of the day with me. Allahu Akbar. 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 Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. ولقد خلقنا الإنسان ونعلم ما توسوس به نفسه ونحن أقرب إليه من حبل الوريد.
إذ يتلقى المتلقيان عن اليمين وعن الشمال قعيد ما يلفظ من قول إلا لديه رقيب عتيد وجاءت سكرة الموت بالحق ذلك ما كنت منه تحيد ونفخ في الصور ذلك يوم الوعيد وجاءت كل نفس معها سائق وشهيد لقد كنت في غفلة من هذا فكشفنا عنك غطاءك فبصرك اليوم حديد وقال قرينه هذا ما لدي عتيد ألقيا في جهنم كل كفار عنيد مناع للخير معتد مريب الذي جعل مع الله إلها آخر فألقياه في العذاب الشديد الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر 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 الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين قال قرينه ربنا ما أطغيته ولكن كان في ضلال بعيد قال لا تختصموا لدي وقد قدمت إليكم بالوعيد ما يبدل القول لدي وما أنا بظلام للعبيد يوم نقول لجهنم هل امتلأت وتقول هل من مزيد وأزلفت الجنة للمتقين غير بعيد هذا ما توعدون لكل أواب حفيظ من خشي الرحمن بالغيب وجاء بقلب منيب ادخلوها بسلام ذلك يوم الخلود لهم ما يشاءون فيها ولدينا مزيد سمع الله لمن حمده.
الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له. وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. نشهد يا رسول الله أنك قد أديت الأمانة وبلغت الرسالة ونصحت الأمة وكشف الله بك الغمة وجاهدت في الله حق جهاده حتى أتاك اليقين. فجزاك الله عنا خير ما جزى نبيا عن أمته ورسولا عن رسالته. أما بعد، يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء. واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. ثم أما بعد. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, the report is out. Some of us will pass, some of us will not. Some of us will miss Ramadan and some of us will not. You will know something about yourself, what you actually learned from the month of Ramadan, from the Qiyam and the Siyam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala linked taqwa to the month of Ramadan. Indeed, because it will help you on Judgment Day. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِن مِّنكُمْ إِلَّا وَارِدُهَا كَانَ عَلَى رَبِّكَ حَتْمًا مَقْضِيًّا ثُمَّ نُنَجِّي الَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا وَنَذَرُ الظَّالِمِينَ فِيهَا جِثِيًّا. Which means, every one of us will pass over the hellfire on the Sirat, the bridge. And those who will fall, and those who will be saved. Those who will be saved, those who attain taqwa. May Allah make us among the muttaqeen. Ameen. And this is exactly what you learn in the month of Ramadan. So you should carry that over because you know that will help you on Judgment Day. And the reason that you learn taqwa is because you don't have to eat and drink in front of people, but when you close all the doors. And the only door that you open is the door of the fridge, you may not learn taqwa. So the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when you close all the doors in the front of shaitan, Allah will open a door for you, it's called Ar-Rayyan, on Judgment Day. No one will enter Jannah through the gate of Ar-Rayyan of those who fasted in the month of Ramadan. That's it. So you have to think about it. What is it exactly that I have to carry? And why was I happy in the month of Ramadan? The answer is in the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. I have not created the jinn and the ins except to worship me.
So if I ask you, brothers and sisters, why were you created? That's your answer. But that's not the answer we're looking for. The question, the true question is behind the question. It's not why you were created, but is your life reflective of the statement you made? So if I ask you why you were created, says, I was created to worship Allah. But your actions and your behavior and your utterance and every actions and deeds that you do in this life, especially when at home, does that reflect what you just stated? قُلْ إِنَّ صَلَاتِي وَنُسُكِي وَمَحْيَايَ وَمَمَاتِي لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. Everything that I'm about, every my rituals, every my beliefs, my life and my death is for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's exactly the answer you should do. And since you learned taqwa, my brothers and sisters, we have to leave you with some homework. Meaning, why should you deprive yourself of the happiness of the month of Ramadan? Even though it was difficult, long days, hard work, your pain of hunger, the pain of thirst, even staying away from the intimate relation from your spouses. But you felt happy because you were doing what you were created to do, as was stated. And that's why the scholars, they tell you that's the reason you're happy in the month of Ramadan, because you worship Allah, and that's the pleasure that you have. The camaraderie, the brotherhood or the sisterhood that you have. Why should you stop that? Don't deprive yourself of that. The continuity and the reason of the hadith that is sahih, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, Man sama sitt, after 6 of the month of Ramadan, 6 in Shawwal, you as if you can sama al-dahr, as if you fasted for the whole year. And the reason for that is the scholars will tell you that the hasana, the good deed in the Islam, is multiplied by 10. So if you fasted the month of Ramadan, as if you fasted 10 months. And if you fast 6 days after that, it doesn't have to be consecutive. Any days in the month of Shawwal, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will multiply it by 10. That's 60 days. That's the remaining 2 months. So whatever you do, brothers and sisters, don't let it slip out of your fingers. Hold on to it and do your best to do it. And the continuity is exactly that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala translates, tell you that the month of Ramadan is not the only time you fast. Continue fasting. And the month of Ramadan is not the time where you're a month of Quran. Continue doing it. Have a wird. Have a homework on a daily basis. And that's what you carry on. And you do so. So you want to make sure that you have a secret between you and Allah. Why? Because the month of Ramadan is exactly that. It's a secret between you and Allah. You could have drank and ate food behind closed doors. But since it's a secret between you and Allah, here's what you have to do. From now on, you give some money nobody knows about. You sponsor an orphan nobody knows about. You do dhikr where nobody knows about. You read Quran where nobody knows about. You do qiyam al-layl where no one else sees you except Allah. So you have to have a secret between you and Allah. وَاعْلَمْ أَنَّ حَسَنَاتِ الْخَلَوَاتِ مُنْجِيَاتِ وَسَيِّئَاتِ الْخَلَوَاتِ مُهْلِكَاتِ. Meaning that the secrets of the acts of the deeds will be the path of your salvation on Judgment Day. But if you do, when you're all alone with Allah, acts of disobedience, that's the path of destruction. So please note that we do our best to cover our sins. I want you to make sure that you cover your good deeds also. So purely for the sake of Allah. No one else knows about it. That's the first lesson you have to take over. So it's like Zayn al-Abidin radiallahu anhu an Ali Bayt al-Afar Ajma'in. He used to carry the food on his back in the middle of the night and give it to the needy, leave it at the doorstep. No one knew about it. It was no business card or vote for me, give me a like. Nothing. He did this for the sake of Allah. Nobody knew about it. He would leave the food at the doorsteps of the needy and he would leave it. The only time he knew it was him is when he died. The food supply was cut off. And when they gave him ghusl, there was a black line in his back from that when he used to carry the food. So, let there be a secret between you and Allah. You will meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with and He's pleased with you. Number 2, if that's the case, so be walking like a desert. When you walk in the desert, brothers, no one hears your footsteps. But they see the athar. They see your footsteps. So leave a legacy behind. Have a sadaqah jariyah. So I'm going to ask you to help. I heard, alhamdulillah, in this beautiful community in Bermuda, that now, alhamdulillah, the masjid as you see is full. May Allah increase it and give you more, inshallah. And bless those who made it possible. But I hear now that you're looking for some new venture. So I want to tell you something. As we move on, and you leave the athar, as you leave the footsteps, as you walk in the desert, in this life, when you go on, people will still see the footsteps. They may not hear you, but they see it. So Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said there are three things that will not be cut off even if our life is cut off. صدقة جارية, علم ينتفع به, and ولد صالح يدعو له. Ongoing charity, beneficial knowledge, and a righteous child that will make dua for you, supplication for you. And the three things are made in the masajid, akhi. So all I want you to do is support that project as much as you can, so you can leave a legacy behind. Protect Islam and protect your children. Because Prophet Muhammad said, if you have a shrub, a small tree in your hand, and know for sure that tomorrow's judgment day, still plant it. Because that means you may not be getting the reward for it, but somebody else will, even though you know for sure. So continue doing so. So the sadaqah jariyah means everyone that will come and pray in the masjid, you will get it till judgment day. Every khutbah, every halaqah, every alif lam mim, 30 hasanat, every letter of Quran is recited, everyone embraces Islam, everybody learns anything, you will get that on judgment day. And beneficial knowledge, Quran and Sunnah. And waladun salih, a righteous child. How will the righteous child even know that this hadith existed if they don't come to the masajid? So it's the righteous environment and the righteous company they keep that will save them, inshallah. So that's the second homework, inshallah. So make sure when you do so, you carry on. You leave a legacy behind. And I will tell you a third after just the istirah, inshallah. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among those who speak and follow the best of it. أقول ما تسمعون وأستغفر الله فاستغفروه فيا فوز المستغفرين. الحمد لله وحده والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده. أما بعد. Ibn al-Jawzi rahmatullahi alayhi, he said that the difficulties of the acts of worship, no matter how long they are, and no matter how difficult they are, it will pass. But what stays is your righteous deeds, your thawab, your reward with Allah. Similarly, the pleasure of that act of disobedience, short-lived, and it will also pass. But what will stay are the sins, unfortunately. So please be a smart, intellectual individual. And if that's the case, akhi, if you notice that most of us have moved different places, different jobs, people come into your life, people leave your life, as if it's like a train. There are stops in this train of your life. People come in and people leave. People will have an effect on you in a positive way or a negative on you possibly. People will change your mind, and people you remember, and people you don't want to even remember. People you should never forget, and so on. All you have to remember, there's one common denominator in every aspect of your life. Whether you get to know people, whether you don't know people. Whether people will live, or where people will die. No matter where you go, or where you move, and what job you will get, there's always one common denominator that will never leave you, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he says, أَصْلِحْ مَا بَيْنَكَ وَبَيْنَ اللَّهِ. Reconcile your relationship between you and Allah. If He's the only one that is always with you, and everybody else will leave you, no matter how much you love them, no matter how much they love you, they will leave you. فَوَاللَّهِ مَا بَعْدَ الدُّنْيَا مِنْ دَارٍ إِلَّا جَنَّةٌ أَوْ نَارٍ. By Allah, there is no dwelling after this life except heaven or hell. And who's going to be with you in the grave? Who's going to be with you on Judgment Day? Who's going to grant you the keys for heaven or hell? It's only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even your mother says, يَا بُنَيْ كَانَ صَدْرِي لَكَ غِذَاءً وَحِجْرِي لَكَ وِعَاءً. My son, my bosom was a source of nourishment for you. My lap was a source of comfort for you. Stay with me in the grave or take me back. Wallahi, he will not do it. Your father will tell you, my son, remember, I was strong, you were weak. I was rich, you were poor. Now that I am weak and you are strong, and I am poor and you are rich, stay with me in the grave or take me back. Wallahi, he will not do it. So the only one that stays with you, akhi and ukhti, is Allah. So reconcile that relationship between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And don't let him be the least of your worries of those who see. And lastly, brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to give you a reward. For those who pass, you will say, Ha umuqra'u kitabiyah. Ya Allah, make us among them. Here, read my book. Grant us the book with the right hand side, Ya Allah. Ameen. Or you get it with the left hand side. May Allah protect us from that. Worse yet, get it behind your back. These are the hypocrites. The one that show that they're good, but unfortunately when they're all alone, they're exact opposite. May Allah protect us all from that. So, the first lesson. Some people you only see in Ramadan. I don't want anyone to get on their high horse and say, you know what, where were you all year? We only see you in the month of Ramadan. Don't ever do that, akhi. Because they came to the house of Allah, not your house. And they came to seek the mercy of Allah, not yours. And they came to be forgiven by Allah, not you. And they came back to repent to Allah, not you. And they came to seek the protection of Allah from the hellfire, not yours. And they came here to look for Jannah, not yours, for paradise. So please don't go around saying, oh, okay, we won't see you again till next Ramadan. Let's do this. At least they came, ya akhi. Welcome them back. Have mercy, my brothers and sisters, upon one another. Stay united in that case. Whatever we differ upon, it doesn't matter. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant you a beautiful reward. Because Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, "Lis-sa'im farhatan." The one who actually fasted, there's two happy occasions. The first one, when you break your fast, everything tastes like ice cream, subhanAllah, when you're hungry. So you learn to be grateful to Allah and not take it for granted and share the wealth. And then on Judgment Day, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, you deprived yourself from that which is halal. And in that case you learn, if you leave the halal, how could you do the haram? And if that's the case, the food that you left for my sake, I will grant you the food in Jannah. You can dream of, and we have more. You know what the mazid is? You'll be able to see the magnificent face of Allah in the way befitting His Majesty. And the scholar says there is nothing better than that. So what is that all about? The invitation was given by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He says, "Kullu ummati fil jannah illa man aba." Everyone is going to Jannah. May Allah make us among them, Ya Rabbi, Ameen, paradise. Except those who refuse. They asked them, how could you refuse a palace made of silver and gold? And the angels will be your servant. And the Sahaba used to say, can you describe Jannah for me? And the Sahaba would say, Fiha Rasulullah. That's it. They didn't say anything about it. I said another description of Jannah, which is plenty. Wallahi, you get goosebumps here, when you hear this. They said, can you describe paradise for me? The only thing they said is, in it, there's Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Don't you want to meet him in Jannah, ya Shaykh? Allahu Akbar. So, man sara ala darb wasal. If you want to meet him in Jannah, walk in his footsteps. And that is the ultimate triumph for us, because Allah gave us a clincher. He actually made a test for us. He says, قُلْ تَلْقِنِيَّةً. Tell them, O Muhammad, قُلْ إِن مَشْرُوطًا إِن كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهِ فَاتَّبِعُونِي يُحْبِبْكُمُ اللَّهِ. Says, he told you, if you claim that you love Allah, and we all do, فَاتَّبِعُونِي. Here's your condition. Follow me, meaning Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah will love you. So if you want the love of Allah, and to be with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Jannah, walk in his footsteps. Do not deviate. Don't add or delete. Al-asl fil ibadah al-ittiba' laysa al-ibtida'. The origin and foundation of the ibadah, the acts of worship, is to follow, not to innovate. So hold on to the two things that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told you to hold on to, and you will never be astray. Kitabullah wa sunnati. The book of Allah and my sunnah and my way of life. And that's the way we're going to meet him in Jannah after a long, healthy, righteous life. Ameen wa akhda. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wa sallam ala alihi wa sahbihi wa tabi'in. يا ربنا لك الحمد كما جلالي وجباري وسلطانك. اللهم صل على محمد في الاولين والاخرين وفي الملأ العاملين. اللهم انصر الاسلام وعز المسلمين واعلي بفضلك كلمة الحق والدين واذل الشرك والمشركين اعداءك اعداء الدين. اوقع الكافرين في الكافرين اوقع الظالمين في الظالمين واخرجنا من بينهم سالمين. اللهم احفظنا بالاسلام قائمين واحفظنا بالاسلام قاعدين واحفظنا بالاسلام راقدين ولا تشمل بنا الاعداء ولا الحاسدين. اللهم اشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين وعاف مبتلانا ومبتلى المسلمين وارحم موتانا وموتى المسلمين ولا تشمل بنا الاعداء ولا الحاسدين ولا تشمل بنا الاعداء ولا الحاسدين واشف صدور قوم المؤمنين واغفر لنا خطايانا يوم الدين واخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين. May Allah accept your actions and deeds, forgive your sins, expiate your necks from the hellfire. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as He guided us in the dunya, to guide us with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Jannah with no accountability. Ameen. Wa akhda alhamdulillah wa sallam alayhi wa sahbihi wa tabi'in. Eid Mubarak inshallah. May Allah accept your actions and